So, what happened at Brett's barbecue shop? I think the long and short answer is I don't really know. I don't really understand. So, this was supposed to be our first experience with Brett's. We were supposed to go to a special event called Pig and Pinot, which they were serving Iberico pork and a certain Pinot Noir, and it all just kind of fell apart. So let's kind of go through the rating. Normally Bree and I are pretty happy-go-lucky, pretty easygoing. We can generally find more good. We would discuss what we didn't like, but generally, nothing necessarily bad really ever happens. But every once in a while, we have stuff like this. The reason why I'm talking to you like this today is because there was barely anything for me to shoot while I was there. It was really dark. We were in a really confined space. I'll try to put some of the video footage I got of the event. So what it was, there was an event for Iberico pork, where you got basically a suckling pig, a cochineal, and a porchetta roll, which is the Iberico pig stuffed with sausage and all kinds of other things. We got there, before I start, it was $100 per person. I don't want any of the money back. I don't need any of that, but we are just conveying an experience. So I want to make sure that all the stats are on the board. So $100 per person plus gratuities, so right around $240 total. We got there, we signed, we paid the rest after our deposit. We signed in, we got everything taken care of. They gave us our wine glasses. Not a single ounce of instruction aside from go around the back, behind where the lady was sitting, and that's where the event was taking place. Fine. We went and we found a table. The table was, I guess, opposite side of the entire bar area for where the food was at. Now, most of the food the hors d'oeuvres were being served buffet style. Again, there was zero instruction for anything. We were just figuring this stuff out as we go. For $100 a person, it's okay, whatever. So we get the wine, we start eating the food, we start getting the hors d'oeuvres. We've got to squeeze through this little area. Nobody's paying attention. Everybody's standing in the middle of the way. It's something I genuinely don't like, but I can get past. It's not necessarily Brett's fault, Brett's barbecue shop's fault. It's just people being people and not giving a crap what's going on. So we squeeze by, we start getting some of the hors d'oeuvres, and then we get a refill from a waitress who's finally coming around for the wine. She tells us that the pork will be out in a couple of minutes. Again, that is the first time we've heard anything about the pork that was coming. So we wait 2, maybe 3 minutes. They finally gave us a way to walk around all of the people instead of having to cut straight through and squeeze past everybody that aren't paying attention. We do wait. We wait 2 or 3 minutes. We walk over there. When I tell you that entire area, that entire suckling pig, whatever it was, had been destroyed and picked clean, it was destroyed and picked clean. There was very, very little. You can see in the cover picture in the thumbnail for this video, there's a little fried piece of cheese with a few little bits of pork. That's all we could salvage off of the actual suckling pig. Next to it is the porchetta roll, porchetta, whatever it's called, is the roll that there was only 2 left. So I had to go over there and make sure that Bree and I got at least one of those. Again, we had no idea anything else was coming out. No instruction whatsoever. Not a word. So we get back to our seat. We try the porchetta roll. The flavor is very unique, but this porchetta roll was really, really dry. Not sure what happened with it. We'll go over that when I start breaking down the ratings. We were supposed to be able to get enough of the pig to make a taco. So they served fresh tortillas with it. You were supposed to be able to make a taco. Yeah, that wasn't happening. So after all of that is said and done, we didn't know anything else. Again, we had no instruction, not a single bit. We were just figuring out as we go along. It's what we're good at. I guess that was the expectation. We've never been to an event like this. We've never been to Brett's before. This was our first experience with Brett's. Brett's is a 2021 Texas Monthly Top 50 barbecue joint. The expectation was pretty high. So let's break down the score. So there was 5 things that basically you're judged on. There was 4 things on the menu. So you have the Pinot, you have the pig, you have there was a hors d'oeuvres menu set out, and there was a Texas chocolate sheet cake. And then the 5th thing is the customer service. We're going to do the customer service last. You'll figure out why here in just a minute. So the Pinot Noir, I don't remember the exact stats on the Pinot Noir, where it was from. It was really good. So if you have a possible 10 points, each one of those 5 is 2. Okay, so you get 2 possible points out of each one of the 5 things that you're going to be judged on for this particular event from me and from my wife. So the Pinot Noir was really good. We didn't have any problem. We got plenty of that. So that's 2 points. So we're at 2 points right now. The hors d'oeuvres, they were kind of hit and miss. There was advertised there was going to be some cracklings. They were pork rinds. You're never convincing this Cajun boy that those pork rinds were ever cracklings. They were unseasoned. They were dry. They were not cracklings. So we had some pan con tomate, which is just tomato spread on a piece of bread. Those were really soggy. They made some of those same things with some prosciutto on them. Those were also really soggy. But some of the other hors d'oeuvres were really good. The pickles were really good. The olives were really good. The garlic ajo was fantastic. So we give them, if 70% of it was good, let's just call it 75%. So 75% of 2 points is 1.5 points. So right now we're at 3.5. So 3.5 points, or 3.5 points. That's a little half right there. 3.5 points. Okay. So that brings us to the pig itself. Now, we were supposed to get a porchetta and enough of the actual suckling pig to make a taco. Unfortunately, we didn't get barely any of the pig to even be able to get a taste for it, and not let alone to make a taco. So you're not getting any points out of me for that. The porchetta, I can tell, had been done and taken care of the way that it should have been. It was just really, really dry. So the 1 point for the porchetta, 1 point for the taco. Nothing for the taco because that didn't happen. And you get a 0.5 point for the porchetta just because it was really dry. So that brings us from 3.5 up to 4 points. We're going to talk about customer service now, and then we're going to follow that up with the Texas chocolate sheet cake, and you will understand the reasoning behind the score. So the lady at the table was nice. The guy tending at the bartender, he was nice. When we went up to get our first glass of wine, the lady that came around that refilled our wine and told us the pork was getting ready to be brought out, that we waited a couple of minutes for, she was really nice. Again, we had no instruction whatsoever. So by the time we got to the point where we thought the chocolate sheet cake was coming out, another lady came around to us, and this is kind of where it all fell apart. So the lady came around to us and she asked us how we were doing, if we got to try any of the pork, if we got any of the porchetta. And we told her we tried the porchetta, but we told her we didn't get any of the pork. And she seemed very off-put by this. And I tried to explain to her that when we came up here, there was no instruction whatsoever. And again, it didn't seem like she understood, so she doubled down on, well, this is a cocktail style event. Okay, well, this is our first time at Brett's. And I told her that, and I don't think it was getting through. So she said, this is a cocktail style event. It's a serve yourself over here. I was like, yeah, we figured that out. By the time we got over there, nobody said the pork was out. Nobody made an announcement like, hey, over here, shit's ready. Nobody said that. So by this point, she was kind of ticking me off. I was starting to get a little bit mad at this lady. And again, she doubled down on the bad part of what I'm going to call this customer service, and she completely ruined the rest of the experience for us. So she goes into this kind of like small tirade and said, well, how a cocktail style event works is you go over there and you serve yourself. And I'm like, whoa, okay. It is what it is. I don't know. She said there was a second pig coming. Again, by the time we got there, all the other people there had completely picked it clean. There was nobody there that was serving the item that we were there to get. Everybody was just there to take whatever they wanted. And if you know people, you know that they took entirely more, or what I would think is entirely more than what would have been a fair share for somebody standing there carving or cutting or doing whatever it is with the pig. Again, it's $100 per person. I kind of expected a little bit more direction, announcement, whatever you want to call it, that just wasn't there. It just fell short. And the lady that was talking to us she just wasn't sitting right with me. So by the time she was done, I felt like everything, I was just getting angry at this lady. So it was time for us to leave. So we finished our wine. This lady finally walks off. I don't know who the lady was. I knew that she was working there. I don't know the lady's name. I didn't get any of that because there was no... whatever. She was pissing me off. So she leaves. We gather our stuff. We start going. We start to leave. So the customer service to me, because of that lady, 0. You don't get anything for that. That was very, very, very off-putting. And in a customer service driven industry where we have places like Aunt Bill's and That's My Dog that literally treat every single person that walks through the door as a VIP. If I wanted to be treated like crap, my guy, I'm going to Burger King. At least I'm going to get some food. I know what I'm getting, even if they don't give a crap if I'm there. It is what it is. I said what I said. So I'm over it. We need to leave. I'm going to start being unpleasant to people. So we skipped the Texas chocolate sheet cake because of this lady. So again, it's not that we missed it just because we didn't get any, and I could only try just a little to even assign a score to it. I got 0 because we left, because this lady was very, very unpleasant to us. So again, this is just our experience. We didn't know what else was going on, so we got up and we left. Now that's 4 points out of a possible 10. We don't have any other points to assign. So this entire event gets a 4 out of 10 for a Texas Monthly Top 50 barbecue place that I expected a lot more out of. That we have gotten better customer service at places where customer service generally doesn't exist. So no instruction, nothing. We leave. On the way out, we are stopped by a guy that says, hey, I can't help but have overheard your conversation with the lady. And I know we had the same experience. We didn't know. We didn't know that the pig was out. By the time we got there, everything had been picked clean. We didn't get any of it. So having somebody else to corroborate our story and have the same experience as us means that there was an issue with how they set the event up, because they didn't know either. They had other ideas. They thought they were going to be served some of this stuff. Sure, the hors d'oeuvres can be served buffet style, but they thought that the Iberico pork was going to be served to people so that everybody had enough, or everybody at least got the same share, which didn't seem like there was enough of those two items, the porchetta and the pig, to serve all of the people at this party. So at the end of the day, we're kind of upset. Bree wants to leave. I definitely want to leave. This guy is telling us he had the same experience. He's a bit disappointed. And I told him this is our first time at Brett's. I'm not sure if we're coming back. I don't like this experience. If we do come back, it's going to be a long time before we walk through their doors again. There's other barbecue places in the city of Katy and in Houston that do a lot better than whoever that lady was that ruined our experience. So apparently this guy is a regular, and he said everything else that Brett's makes is on point for barbecue. And I told him I get it. You don't get unskilled. You don't get an unskilled chef to make it onto that list. I understand. It's just this experience is very off-putting for us. And he's like, just want you to know, just in case you decide to come back, everything else on the menu is great. Something was going on that this event, there was some kind of planning that was amiss. And I hate to give these kind of scores. That's why I did that full breakdown. Normally we can give a general score for a place and we can move on with our life. Everything has been okay to good, unless it was just really bad food, really dry food, or really unseasoned food, which there are videos of us having those kinds of experiences. It's not all just Mai Tais and Yahtzee around here, my guy. So 4 out of 10 for Brett's Barbecue Shop's Pig and Pinot event. I didn't even want to make this video, but part of the reason why we went was to do a review. Maybe my expectations were set way too high. I don't know. I'm just conveying our experience and what our expectations were for a place that I thought was a lot better than this. And that's what we got. Y'all get the hell out of my kitchen.